right. So we have news again around CyberPunk 2077. Not the greatest of news, but there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, there's some silver lining, and this and that and the other thing. So let's jump into this. So, yes, Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed once again by 21 days. The new release date is December 10th. Yeah, they are trying to make this game for 9 different consoles. And to me, when I hear that they're trying to do it for 9 different consoles, it's just one of those things in my brain where I'm like, why not just make it a next gen title? And I know that a lot of people that don't want to get the next generation of consoles, or that they're afraid that they're not going to be able to find the next generation of consoles. Yes, there's the holdouts, and I mean that's their thing. They hold out. Oh well. It's kind of, if you think about it business wise, it is kind of that way of oh well. But I think that majority, I'd say probably 90% of the gaming landscape is pretty much already pre-ordering PS5s where they can, and the other 10% is definitely getting PCs. So, and really overall, I think everybody is kind of getting into the point of they would rather have a PC to game on than an Xbox. So either which way, you don't really have to do current gen systems of the PS4 and the Xbox One, just on the fact that everybody will have a platform to get the game on. So 9 versions of this game, including PS5, PC, and Stadia. It just really makes no sense why they would go all out for all 9 versions. Like I said, I think they should just go next gen with it. This is going to be something that's definitely happening to, like, Halo is kind of going through the same thing. Also, they're trying to make sure that it works on every single platform. And that is just, I get it. If you're like, from a business standpoint, if you're really trying to optimize all the profits that you can possibly do, then definitely, you're going to want to go on the on the majority of platforms that you can put your title on. Now, they're delaying it by 21 days, and they're saying that it can make a massive and complex game. It can make a big difference in that process of making such a massive title. Which, of course, any extra dev time will make the game better. Now, that's the silver lining to this whole thing, is that, yes, any extra dev time, they're going to have the day 0 patch, and they're definitely going to be working on the game nonstop after it launches. The launch is just beginning. It's not like as soon as the game stops, that's just the core version of the game. No, there's patches and updates and everything, DLC that they got to start working on. It's one of the great things about modern day gaming, is that we don't just get a vanilla version of the game and then all of a sudden there's like a lot of fighting games have in the past, where there's bigger rosters and such, and you get the gold edition or the ultimate edition like later on down the line. No, we get it in patch updates and DLC and everything. We can just download them. Now, what does this mean? Well, Cyberpunk is coming out. Basically, I'm pretty sure it's the same night that the Game Awards is. December 12th is the new, or December 10th, excuse me. December 10th is the new release date. And yeah, I mean, it's like an early Christmas present. I guess that's another silver lining that goes with it. Now, here's one of my biggest, moments of this whole news, is the fact that if you look at the time period, December 10th. Now, November 10th, I'm pretty sure, is the launch of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. With that being said, oh boy, that's going to be a month after next-gen consoles launch. Now, this game, Cyberpunk 2077, it's been in development for years. It has been delayed over and over and over again. I mean, like GameSpot put out, there's numerous previous delays has plagued it, set for a launch on November 19th, according to a statement from studio execs. So they delayed by 21 days. When I see this, and I remember back that, I mean, the first time we saw a teaser trailer for it was back in 2013. Again, GameSpot here, just giving GameSpot love in this video. And this teaser came out. We all remember, the woman, the bullets bouncing off, and we were like oohing and on and everything. We've been oohing and on over this game for years. And it's been multiple different formats, multiple different states of somewhere, somehow almost being finished. And then there was also a statement coming out that, it has gone gold and everything. It's due to crunch time, basically, is the reason why all this is happening. Now, yeah, so after previous delays, studio in September say they wouldn't get delayed again, and of course that's becoming a meme now. Will it ever come out? We've seen the same thing happen with like Final Fantasy VII Remake though, and look how good that came out. And I think it came out pretty good. I think the majority of the fans really loved Final Fantasy VII Remake. And the way that storytelling brought something brand new, but also everything was so reminiscent, nostalgia based, but at the same time brought something brand new. Now that one got pushed back for good reasons. The same thing is happening with this. The crunch time is also happening, and of course, there's a lot of people that are like, well, oh my God, they're overworking their studio developers. A lot of times, developers like doing crunch time. I know, as controversial as that might sound. They want to make sure that the product is as good at, that their vision and that it becomes a masterpiece, that their vision is, overly succeeded, and that everybody will absolutely indulge and enjoy in the game world and everything. I just don't see Cyberpunk being a game. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be something more than a game. You're going to be putting so many years. And I really want to make a point of this. All this stuff and everything about, oh my God, it's being delayed and this and that. Okay, so it gets delayed like 5 different times. You're probably going to be playing this thing for like 10 years. It's going to be over multiple systems that this is going to be around. Look at The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is still like, I'm seeing a bunch of people still playing it now. There's a bunch of like mod community making mods for it and everything. There's still like support from the consumer side of things, of the player base. Again, The Witcher is kind of like an experience also in itself because there's so much to it and you spend so much time in it. You're living in that world, but I think more so Cyberpunk just because there's more customization and you are making yourself literally into the game and into this game world. So my biggest fear right now for Cyberpunk 2077 going forward, after seeing this right here, the big yellow, is that because it is coming out a month after the next generation of consoles is coming out, we're going to have a full month of playing games that are next gen. Cyberpunk has been in development for years, for a very long time, has been pushed back and delayed multiple times. Now, my biggest fear is that this thing, it has so much hype riding around it. There is so much like just anticipation and hype and this whole thing that's being built up, this bubble of just excitement that's just ready to burst on launch night. Now, my biggest concern for it is that the bar has been set way up here. And really, I think everybody should be going into it, the bar being set down here, and then let the game build it up as much as the game can build it up. Let the work get you hyped up, or the experience of it get you hyped up more than just the fan hype. That's just the way I am personally. I hope that spoilers are not a thing also. Maybe they saw spoilers getting, pushed out, leaked or something like that, and they were like, what, screw it, we're gonna change stuff around a little bit. But yeah, that's one of the things. Like, we're going to be seeing, the Demon Souls, the Spider-Mans, the oh boy, like everything that is next gen. Maybe even Hellblade 2 and such. But we're going to be seeing those experiences that are, like I said, like next gen, and then a month later, this basically what is a current gen as of right now, because the next gen consoles are not out. So current gen, like it's going to run like a current gen game, and not have the bells and the whistles of next gen. That's my biggest concern for the game. And then people are just going to dismiss it as like Cyberpunk was one of the biggest letdowns ever because it doesn't have the bells and the whistles of the next gen built in. I don't think they're going to have that. Maybe later on in the patch updates they'll add in, but I think people need to be wary of that. I think they really need to sit back and realize that there's a very good possibility that Cyberpunk 2077 won't be to the standards of a next gen title, but it's going to be to hopefully of the standards of the hype that is surrounding it. Now, there's a bunch of crunch time that's been happening with the developers, sure. And on top of that crunch time, they are already receiving a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, if you go into the comment section on stuff, you're going to be seeing a whole bunch of, people, I can't believe this is delayed again and everything. And if there was like one guy, he took time off from work to play the game. Understandable. It's if you're working maybe 2 jobs or something like that and you want to take a vacation day or week, whatever. And that is going to be like your way to escaping out of the way the world is right now. Totally understandable that you're mad at that. Just don't get mad at the developers or the company overall for pushing developers, because the developers are probably also pushing themselves to make sure the game is 100% up to the standards of what the fan base. You also got to admit, The Witcher 3 is leaving some very big shoes to fill for Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has a hell of a reputation to live up to, and for it being a brand new IP coming off from something where there's already an established fan base for this company. Everybody knows CD Projekt Red. Majority of everyone loved The Witcher 3. I have not played The Witcher 3. I do plan on streaming it though, as much as I possibly can, which in all honesty, them moving Cyberpunk away from the PS5 launch lineup, I think is kind of great. I think it's like, hell yes. Like, give us a month to really jump in and enjoy the launch lineup for PS5, for Xbox One Series, the Xbox Series, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Sorry. But let's really enjoy next gen. Let's soak it all in, breathe it all in. And then the next month afterwards, boom, it's Cyberpunk month. The Cyberpunk monk, yes. Now there's a character making Cyberpunk. So, like I said, some good, some bad. There's like a silver lining in there. I just really would love to see people kind of not be so anticipation of the game. Just relax. Let the game sell you. Let yourself be sold into the game world of like, whoa, this world is expansive. It's a giant map. There's a great story here. There's a lot of options and everything. Maybe the ray tracing isn't, as up to snuff as a next gen title. Maybe it will be. Maybe that's what this 21 days is going to. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like my big, thought process around this whole delayed thing, that it gets delayed once again. I am fully still on board with Cyberpunk. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to jump into this game world and see just everything that you can do, every path that you can live, every type of person you can be in it. I see a lot of like a Mass Effect style thing where you're living inside the game world as a custom character that you're building, but also a dialogue tree that is like expansive as like a Fallout or something, where you can probably kill anybody that you want to whenever. Yeah. I think the only other one that's really doing something this dramatic, but they've kind of fell short off from the latest gameplay, is a game that's coming out very soon, and that is Watch Dogs Legion, where you can play as every single character in the game world as an NPC. I thought that was very ambitious also. But anyways, so Cyberpunk 2077 gets delayed again. Okay. Hopefully this time it's gone gold, so I'm pretty sure this is the last time that they can possibly delay the game. They're going to have to ship this thing. It is gone gold. The marketing's gone out there. We've seen Keanu Reeves talking about the game in commercials and everything, and doing interviews and all that stuff. So it can only get better from here. As I said already, once again, Final Fantasy VII Remake, everybody waited over 10 years for that thing to be even just, thought of and made and everything. And it came out awesome. So, just give it time. Just give it time. Let it cook as much as it needs to. And, nobody wants a undercooked cake. I guess that's a decent analogy to make. But, just give it time. Let them do their thing. Anyways, so I will be definitely streaming Cyberpunk 2077 launch night when it hits on Twitch, twitch.tv/werewolf. And definitely I'll be doing content on its content. I'll have a mini hype launch movie for it. And that and the PS5, I'll be there for that too. And we'll see just how Cyberpunk runs on PS5 and everything else too. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, and make sure and hit that thumbs up to share and all that good stuff. To ring the little bell so you know when I post up the videos and all that. And yeah, stay tuned for the stream VODs, because this is where I store them, is on YouTube. And I think that's all the tic-tac-toes of the YouTube landscape. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see ya next time.